Okay, hi everybody. Excited to get started here. I'm Michelle, and I'm up here with Shannon and Jessica. And today we'll be exploring our project done in collaboration with the Frog Hollow Neighbourhood House. Rather than defining what a neighborhood house is or explaining everything that Frog Hollow does, we'd like to share the testimonial of someone who's found support here. Frog Hollow support was a game changer for me as a single parent and new immigrant. Their programs helped me access food and social services while I focused on job searching, allowing me to secure a successful career and provide for my family. This individual was able to use Frog Hollow services as a way to stabilize themselves when they needed it most. This is what a neighborhood house can enable, and this is what Frog Hollow does. Frog Hollow itself began in 1968, when East Vancouver residents organized around a single idea. Neighbors can support one another through everyday challenges. Since becoming an official neighborhood house in 1977, Frog Hollow has become a fixture in Hastings Sunrise. So then our partnership with them began in September with a broad goal: to understand the changing context shaping social infrastructure in BC today and to support work underway. We created 3 research questions looking broadly at the conditions shaping neighborhood houses in BC today, Frog Hollow's work in food dignity and decolonizing, and the future of the new community kitchen. On day 1 of our partnership, we attended the Association of Neighborhood Houses Consortium, and what became clear to us is that Frog Hollow's challenges are not isolated. They instead reflect a two-sided squeeze, where on one side, community needs are rising, while on the other, institutional support is not keeping pace. This pressure isn't new, but it is intensifying. And the 2025 federal immigration cuts are a clear example of a squeeze of neighborhood houses. In Frog Hollow's case, this meant the loss of 7 full-time staff members. At the same time, this community is projected for growth. The Rupert Renfrew Plan designates Frog Hollow as a special site for expansion alongside transit-oriented development. Yet the city has only committed to funding a fraction of this cost. Despite these pressures and concerns, the organization continues to creatively meet community needs. One example of this is rising food insecurity and unaffordability, which has meant that food is part of almost everything Frog Hollow does. Unlike a traditional food bank model, their provisions of food is done in a way that's dignified through choice-based, relationality, culturally meaningful items, and reducing stigma. Another area of action is in confronting colonialism and its ongoing harms and traumas. To paraphrase Executive Director Norm Leach's words, we're decolonizing every part of the house, from senior care to child care to newcomer services, because they're all based in unjust systems. A key site where food work and decolonizing come together is at the Pipam-Lalem Food Forest. This is a new site that Frog Hollow has acquired, and their vision is to provide sustainable food growing, Indigenous knowledge sharing, and building deeper relations with the land. We had the opportunity to work with them in building and supporting early engagement here through co-designing different activities that gather the neighbors' input on different ways to use the site design, and what kind of programming they want here. Even in times of austerity, Frog Hollow is delivering transformative inputs of care.
Frog Hollow's focus on food and decolonization is what makes the Sunrise Kitchen such an important opportunity. Opened in June 2025, the kitchen is now used as needed without any anchor programming. Through interviews and case study, we explore how this could become a multimedia teaching space, a community food hub, or even a gathering space for a lighted organization. At the same time, there are constraints around time, costs, infrastructure, and staff capacity. So building on this work, we have developed 10 recommendations based on 3 connected themes. Firstly, address the root cause by advocating for long-term, stable, and flexible funding for neighborhood houses, and a broader understanding of the long-term community support. And second, improve the city's food system by incorporating food dignity and infrastructure as key lenses in neighborhood growth planning. And third, activate the Sunrise Kitchen through low barrier and realistic leg step that foster learning, community food access, and also connection. If we are serious about the future imagined in the Vancouver's official development plan, where people should have convenient access to all their daily needs, including neighborhood house, then neighborhood house should be funded, treated, and planted as essential community infrastructure. We hope you carry onward this spirit of community as you listen to how our colleagues connected to diverse communities across BC and Canada. Thank you.